Rogers is an autistic boy. He's 15 years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is none, no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset, or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I'm not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming. Well, hello again. Hello again. Happy Easter again. Hello, Millie. Hello, Not Crazy. Hello, Brenda Sue and Bo. Hello, Plant Lady. Dina, welcome. Show Poodles. Hello. Kathleen. Yo, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Hello. Kiki True Crime. Look, you're up early. You're up late, actually. You're up late. I forgot I come on early this morning. Lord, have mercy. I've been up forever and a day, it seems like. But you're up late. Hello, Zuzu. Hello, Charlie. Thank you for being here. And Sharon. Hello. Poppy Love. Bryn Marshall. Hello. Yes, y'all go sub up to lovely Kiki. Go sub up. Kiki True Crime. And let's see who we have here. Michelle Davis, Robin, Lainey, R2 Country Girl. I love my R2 Country Girl. I usually see her when I come on late at night too. Hello. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. No more cars in the mud, I hope. That's the inside joke, y'all. That's an inside joke. Never mind, don't ask. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Thank you, Brenda, for subbing to her. Thank you. Robin. Africa, Alicia Hot Wheels. Hello. Let's see. I thought my TV was telling lies, and this was earlier. Good night, everyone. Good night. You just got here. Oh my God. Y'all are making me laugh tonight. Shelly, hello. See what you did, R2 Country Girl. Julia, hello. Hey, Smelly, an account called 1900 Toxic Smiley Story left a comment on Mr. Demon's channel. So you have a toxic imposter. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. I'm sorry. They just all want to be me. Justin, thank God I went live. Thank God I went live. Oh my God, I love you, Justin. You're in the shower. Look at me. Look, I just got out, honey. I'll show y'all. I just got out. It's all good. I just got out. So I'm here. I had to get my shower to stay awake. I promised y'all I would come back on. I promised. I've been working on some things today. Brenda, Sue, everybody. I hope I said hello to everybody. Always you are too, country girl. Julia Turner, everybody. Hello, welcome. Oh my God. I love all of y'all. Thank you for being here. I think I'm down at the bottom. Oh my goodness. I think I'm down at the bottom. So anyway, I hope everybody, Flamingo, Lisa, Annabella Honeys. I'm never going to say that right. Isn't that what Nico said? She said she's never going to say that right. Annabella Honeys. H. Davis, hello. Nyla, hello. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all are just wonderful. Y'all made my night. So anyway, hey, Annabella, I told you about the possums, right? Well, let me tell you about they went fishing today, honey. Everybody knows they went fishing today. This is boys and men's for you. So my son comes in. They had some leftover stuff. No, they didn't catch no fish, honey. They didn't catch no fish. So I'm in here doing my little work, y'all. Y'all want to hear about this? And if you don't know about the possums, don't be asking me about no possums because we ain't gonna talk about it. I'm just saying. Hey, Jack of all trades and Julia, but let me just tell you about my day. So my husband goes to the store, and then my son says, I said, what did y'all have left over or something? I don't know. I forgot how it come about. My son proceeds to tell me that they got some shrimp in the freezer. I guess they used it for bait. I don't know. Didn't bother to ask, but I'm thinking, oh, okay, whatever. Then my son proceeds to tell me, and I have a whole bunch of worms. In the bucket in your food pantry. And it's got a little hole cut out. And they're still alive. I said, what? And then he proceeds to come in here and show me. I said, don't make me throw all my food away. Get that shit out in the freaking shed. I don't care where you put it. Don't ever put that around my food or in my cabinets or no shit like that again. What is wrong with my peoples? What is wrong with my peoples? So that's the kind of day I had. Oh, Lord, honey. I just thought I'd tell y'all. I don't know why. I just thought I'd tell you. He puts them in the refrigerator. Oh, Lord. R2 Country Girl said, just in case you want to mess with someone, tell them the possum starts with a O and watch them freak out. I know, look. We done had that lesson. We done had that lesson a long time ago. Oh gosh, WV Holler Girl. Hello, hello, hello. Man, it's everybody coming in. Hello, love y'all. Love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I just thought I'd give y'all a good laugh today. I can't, when it comes to the creepy crawly stuff, I can't get away from it. I just can't. My real people knows what I'll be talking about. I know y'all don't. You think I'm nuts. I am. Suspected. Am I saying that right? Welcome, welcome. Easter is over. I hope y'all had a great day. I had a great day. I hope y'all did too. I really do. And I hope tomorrow's even a better day. Yeah, blessings of having a boy. How about Shelly? I had 4 of them. So how about that? Yeah. Charlie said, buy him a refrigerator for his shed. Exactly. Oh my gosh, Lord, what is wrong with these people? They have no respect for the queen around here. I'm the only female, and I get no respect. I get no respect. Hey, Seth, happy Easter. Be blessed and stay safe. Absolutely. No, Annabella, no, it was Millie. Millie was on the phone with me one day, and she knows I was sitting on the porch, and I think he was trying, my hubby was trying to get my attention, and there was my dog had killed the possum. This was just one incident with the possums, honey, and I can't stand them more than anything. No, instead of going around the yard and instead of going, no, he wants to come through my kitchen, through my front door, all the things, and bring it out there. And yeah, that part. I'm like, look, I almost had a fit to be tied. Millie said, Smiley ain't lying either. I'm like, how old are you and what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Bo, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love y'all. I love y'all. Shelly said, Smiley, I've got you beat. I had 3 girls, drama plus worms. Since I'm a country girl, I'll take the worms. I'll take the worms over the possums any day. I just don't know about in my cabinet live with my food, honey. I got to thinking about that, and I was like, what you mean it's got a hole in it? What do you mean it's still alive? They could be crawling out everywhere. No, we ain't having that, honey. You better get them outside. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. R2 country girl, honey. And one time it got a hold of one because there's a tree next door, and Lord, honey, they must be living in that tree. Got a hold of one and started to bring it in, and I just happened to walk out, and everybody's back was turned on the back porch, except mine when I walked out. I screamed so loud. I guess my dog thought it was going to bring it in and have a feast. The possum played dead, of course, and I thought it was dead, and it wasn't dead, but that's a whole long story. Lord, ugh, that's a whole long story. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad he spilled the tea, C. Taylor. Because if he didn't, look, and if I would have went in there and started to cook something or grab something out of the cabinet or whatever and saw some worms, or worse yet, worms would have been crawling out that hole. And especially if I'd have been by myself, can y'all imagine? I'd have had a heart attack. That wouldn't have been funny. No. Oh my gosh. Frogs and snails and puppy dog tails. That's the truth. That's the truth. Oh my gosh. Yep. Well. But I have a lot thank you all for being here. Seriously, thank you all for being here. I have a lot that I have been working on today. And so I was just kind of taking some time to myself until they come back with that little news. But it was pretty peaceful around here and I had a good day. But excuse me, I was taking some time to myself and getting to read in quiet and research in quiet and stuff like that. And I had, they probably don't want me to say who, and that's fine. And I don't even know if they're listening, but they probably will later. I had about a 2-hour call with somebody today. And it really surprised me, but I'm really glad because I really admire them. And we talked for a while, and I thank you. You really made my day. Thank you so much. I know that they was on their way to go search some places for Sebastian. It's just nice to know that people really, really care and have their boots absolutely on the ground. And I learned a lot of things today, and I appreciate this person, and I appreciate everything that they do. I always have, and so I really appreciate that. Let me just say that. And I'm glad that you did call. So thank you. And I was going over a lot of their videos today. I haven't pulled one out to watch yet. But we have went over some of their videos, but we'll be going over some more. I'll say that. But just thank you. You made my day. There is, let's see, some other, there's another thing that they told me about too. And so I'm actually going to work on another case. And they just said it's not a case. You'll see when it comes out. It's kind of not a case like, oh, it's more adult case, and it's not a case where, oh, the parents had something to do with this or this, that, and the other. No, it ain't like that. It's not that kind of case. But this person is missing, and it's kind of intriguing, actually. So they said that the mom wanted would really like a female on it, and they really like the way I handle stuff, and I really appreciate that. So I really appreciate them talking to me about that and stuff today. So that's another thing. Just wanted to give you a little heads up on that. But I just want to say enough nonsense there. I just want you to know there's a lot of people out here who are seriously working hard for Sebastian Rogers and using their own time and their own money. And there are people who cares and do have boots on the ground, regardless of what anybody says. There are people doing that, and people should really be grateful about that. So I want to let you know that. Sebastian has gained a lot of national attention, and some don't like that. They don't. The mom and the stepdad and the step-grandparents have even went as far as to say, well, as you saw, Bullhorn Betty, for example, has stalked them, has harassed them, and has threatened them and all that crap. And then they got the people that go along with that. Oh my God, yes, she did, whatever. Well, you know, I guess it's all in how you interpret it, right? But here's the thing. I just want to speak on this for a minute. She lives 12 hours away, people. And she has the biggest thoughts and opinions probably of anybody in this case. And we don't all have to agree or whatever. But she has a big platform. She uses her platform for not just Sebastian, but for a lot of these missing kids to put their names and faces out there. And in my opinion, I sat here and I thought about it today. She does good things. And I also thought about it today. I thought about hearing Chris get up on a channel the other day. I'm just going to say it like that. There's no sense in being nasty about it. That he got up on a channel the other day and they started to say something even about Bullhorn Betty. And he even said, well, no, that's not fair because she would make a good blah, 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 whatever he was saying or tried to say. And he knows better. He knows they shouldn't have did that. He knows they're not scared of her. And so I just wanted to take a moment to touch on that because as I was watching some of these videos that I was going through today, that video of her and Terry was one of the ones I was watching. And matter of fact, when she was in a public parking lot, the only difference is she was brave enough to get out and confront her stalker, honestly, if you want to know the truth about it. And then if that's not enough for y'all or anybody, okay, fine. But here's the thing. If that's not enough, how about, as I'm watching that, and I know we all seen it before, but how about as she's talking to the law officer, guess who's going back and forth, and in the video doing nothing but trying to intimidate her? Bing, ding, ding, you guessed it. Terry Bowersocks. Terry Bowersocks. So that's really intimidation, if you ask me. It's bullshit. A lot of time has been wasted on plain bullshit when people's just doing nothing more than boots on the ground and trying to help in the Sebastian Rogers case. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So yeah, you can clearly see it, and why anybody else can't, I don't know. So that's that. I wanted to say that, but it makes you go, makes you go, yeah, wasted time and wasted distractions. Yep, they love doing that to people, especially to women. But the bottom line is, no matter what anybody says or thinks, it doesn't matter. Sebastian went missing from his mother's home, Katie Lynn Proudfoot, in Hendersonville, Tennessee, on Stafford Court, February 25th, 2024. That's when he was last seen, and he was last seen with her at the Texas Roadhouse on video camera. He was last seen getting back in the car and leaving with her from the Texas Roadhouse. Right? So, we were told by LE that they had footage from Katie's dash cam and he made it home. I believe that he made it home. That's right, YouTuber. That is the bottom line. So that right there is the fact. under her care, under her roof. Also, Katie she put, and I say it like this every time, she put Sebastian at home with her in that house by herself that night with all the doors and windows locked on February 25th. And she either lied for Chris and gave him an airtight alibi of not being there, or she just went along with him and his script, in my opinion. But either way, she locked herself in with that. And with Sebastian, no way in and no way out. And Chris agreed. He agreed to it all. So he locked her in with Sebastian, and she allowed him to do that. That's what we want to know, Sub. That's what we want to know. Where is Sebastian? Seems to me only one or two people could tell us that, right? Thank you, Plant Lady. Thank you, Lord in heaven. Please help Seth find his beautiful son. Absolutely. Thank you, Plant Lady. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, where is Sebastian? We all want to know that. It's $1 million question. Huh. Funny, I just said that. Somebody asked me the other day on my community post, why is the reward not $1 million? Oh, it's still on there. I took screenshots. I forgot exactly word for word what I put them. I thought that was, or wrote back, I thought that was pretty odd they asked me that. But I did ask them something to the effect of, I don't know, it could go up more, but why would you even ask that unless you know where Sebastian is? And is $1 million going to be what it takes for you or somebody to come forward? I'm just asking. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And why would you ask me that? I don't know. No, that's not true, Sub. That's not true. It's $50,000 reward from the FBI. That part is true. There is another reward out there altogether. Making it a total of $447,000. Anyway, that's what they want you to think. That's what Chris and Katie would like you to believe. It's only $50,000. Why? And actually, Sub, if you are Chris or Katie, why don't you just come up here and talk to me? I'll drop you a link. Why don't you just come right up here and talk to me? You've been invited back. Smiley, love you, but did you read the stipulations to collect? Well, I didn't have to. I read some of them, and other people had read them. Why would I waste my time to do it? And also, Sub, also, I'm hearing now that has changed because they've added Summer Wells to it. Now, how do I feel about them adding Summer to it? I'm not even quite sure how I feel about that. I touched a little bit on Summer today. I'm not even quite sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. Only reason why, not saying that they're doing anything wrong, but, and I'm glad Summer's getting attention. She was my first case. I touched on it. But to be perfectly honest with you, they were with Sebastian, and I wish they would just stick with Sebastian if you want to know the truth of the matter to it. And and Justin's right, there's stipulations to the FBI reward. There's stipulations to every reward. Hey, Joseph Rapp. Hello, honey. I hate so many people are fooled. It's so disheartening. Well, I can say the same thing. I hate that so many people are fooled, and it's disheartening. I mean, we can debate that all day long on both sides. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And here's the problem. Here's the problem. Why would anybody have to do this for money? Why would anybody have to do this for money? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Why would you have to be paid to do the right thing? Why do you have to be paid to do the right thing? I'm just asking. So again, I've said before, and I'll say it again. To me, as a mother and a mother of an autistic child, I wouldn't care if somebody told me they had $10 or $10 million. I wouldn't give a damn if I believed them or I didn't believe them. The point is, hold on, I'm going to put this up here so I don't forget to tell you something. The point is, why not try to bring, well, I'm going to tell you why, but why not try to bring that reward to the attention of anybody who may have Sebastian? I'm going to tell you why. Let me just tell you why right now. Because just what you said right here, because it's all a lie and it's deceptive. Because you know why? The mother and others, I'm going to put it like that, in my opinion, knows exactly where the hell Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, dead or alive. That's why. And I'm being as straight up, blunt, and as honest with you as I can be. And it wouldn't matter if it was $5 million. That's the truth. And you know what? Agreed. And you know what? Who else agrees that no rewards needed, no money's needed, no GoFundMe's needed, no shit's needed, is Chris Proudfoot. And if you're Chris, come up here and talk to me. I will be respectful. I will be respectful. Okay, but you are a troll, whoever you are. What you said, you hate dishonesty, you hate lies, and you hate deceit. But when you're trolling under another name that's not even you, you've never been in here before, and you're not being truthful, and you won't take a link, then You said, I just care about the cases and it drives me insane. I'm not a troll. Why am I a troll? Because I disagree. No, absolutely not because you disagree. And then you're going to say, I love you, Smiley, but so-and-so. How can you love me? You've never been in here, allegedly. If you have, you haven't been under this name. And if you've been in here before enough to love me, then right now you're lying to me and trying to deceive me. That's all. You are who you are. Fair enough. Fair enough. I am who I am. And I'm not a liar either. So you're still welcome to come up on the panel. Would you like a link? I would like to hear what you have to say. You're just a subscriber, and I call out BS when you see it. Okay, well, so do I. Maybe that's why you love me so much. Fair enough. Let me carry on. Fair enough. Fair enough. The point is, as a mother, as I was saying, as a mother and a person with and a child with autism, I wouldn't care how much it was or what I knew about it. I'd be screaming to the top of the roof. Period. Now, Sebastian, no way in and no way out is where Katie and Chris put him, and they put Katie in there with him, and that's my opinion. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think Chris was there at some point. That's what I think. I didn't at first. I didn't think so at first, but now I do. Let's see. And crazy that haven't done anything, and y'all keep believing them. Oh, the president's coming. Oh, my dog's coming. Ain't none of that happen. Listen. If you're going on that, well, first of all, no, I don't know who you're talking. You can talk to y'all all you want to. I never said, first of all, that I believed any of that, or I didn't believe any of that, first of all. But I will address that. Common sense is common sense. And you can believe whatever you want. Just like anybody on the internet can pretend to be anybody in the world that they want to be. Hold on, you keep writing and I can't see. I don't know why you just don't come up here so we can talk. I think that's a very good possibility that Chris was there, but I also think it's a good possibility that Seth could have rank. Oh, Lord. Well, that's your opinion, and I can't be mad at you for your opinion, although I still say common sense tip. Lord. Anything's possible. Let me just say this. Anything is possible. So anything's possible. But I'm going to tell you something. In my opinion, Chris was there, and I'm trying to get to that, but I can't keep reading this and trying to answer you when you can simply come up here. So let me just carry on. I'm going to try to carry on. I'm not mad or anything like that. Thanks to me. Oh, thanks you, Smiley Snake. Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad or anything. I'm not mad. I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but, anyway, it'll all come out in the wash. It will all come out. It'll all come out regardless of how long it takes or when. It's going to all come out. That's a fact. But you can choose to believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. Period. But listen, it'll all come out. Some people that's in here right now that I love dearly don't believe that the poker game happened. But I do. And guess what? Guess what? I believe Chris was at the poker game. Guess what? I now don't think Sebastian was in there at the poker game, but I do think Katie and Chris, Katie and Sebastian, I'm trying to read this, I'm sorry. Katie and Sebastian, hold on, I'll drop you a link in just a minute. Katie and Sebastian came there. But here's the thing. I believe that's where Chris got his bite. I said bite marks that night on Friday night at the poker game. And guess who I believe gave him them bite marks? But guess why he gave them bite marks? Guess why? Because he put Sebastian in a headlock. Wonder if he'll ever own up to that. So do you still want a link? No, it wasn't two little dogs. And you know what I believe? If that computer got taken away by LE, I'm just letting my people know, if that computer got taken away by LE, what a perfect opportunity. If something was on that computer, they could blame it on poor little Sebastian. Poor little Sebastian. Sebastian did that. Happy Easter, Shannon. So I doubt they're going to tell that part of the story. Right? I doubt they're going to tell all that. See? See? All right, let me drop this link. Hold on a minute. I'm going to drop you a link. Hold on a minute. Well, there's Harley Ryder. Haven't seen you in a while. See what it says. Justin, for all, knowing what we know about Chris, you think one of those dogs would be alive if it actually bit him. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I dropped the link, I think. Hold on, let me do it again. All right, there's the link. Rod, I don't know who's coming up. I don't know who it is on the panel. I mean, I don't know who that is. Sub said they were coming up, but I don't know who they are. They're gonna have to show me their face. Let me see your face. I'm gonna need to see your face before I bring you up, please. You can put it back down. Just let me see your face. I'm gonna have to see your face. Sub, I got to see your face. I can't bring you up if you don't show your face. If you don't show your face, I can't bring you up. Okay, I don't even know if you're. I don't know. I'm not going to bring you up if you don't show your face. Just not going to do it. Okay, I kicked them. I'm not going to bring them up if they don't show their face. I'm not going to do that. So, I'm not going to do it. You don't show your face, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's really suspect to me too. So, yeah. And they said they're not coming up. Sorry. Well, whoever just tried to come up didn't show their face. So if it wasn't you, I don't know who it was. But they're not coming up unless they're showing their face. Period. Show your face or don't. But you're not coming up. Smiley at someone you know. Who is it that I know? How do you know it's somebody I know? Who is it? And how do you know it's somebody I know? If they're not chicken shit, they'll just show me their face. You just have a feeling it is? Well, then they need to show their face. I don't care if it's, I don't care who it is. It could be my husband in his dreams in there. If he don't show me his face, he's not coming up. Okay, well, anyway, let me get on with the show. Just let me get on with it, because I ain't playing this game. Suspect says, I'm not showing my face for anyone. You're not showing your face for anyone? Okay, that's fine. I can't let, I mean, you could keep your face, you could keep it down, but I'm not letting you up here unless you show your face, because unless I know who you are, then, oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You know, when you show me your face, they can't. Okay, who is this? All right, you can put your camera down. I don't know who you are, but you can put your camera down. Just going through. I don't know, my phone is blowing up. Who? I need to see your face. I don't know who that is. You need to let me see your real face. All right, just going through. Show me your face. This is the second time you've tried to come up here. Now you have a different picture up there, but I don't know who you are. Who are you? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Does anybody know who that picture belongs to? I don't know who it is. Okay. Well, just forget it. Just don't give them the link. Idiots. Idiots. Well, you must be a troll. How about that? You must be a troll. I can't. I took it down. I kicked them again. I kicked them again. I kicked them again. Again. Again, that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about Sebastian, and then you got people that want to come in here, and you try to even be nice to the trolls and the people you know that you haven't seen in here before, and then they want to start the bullshit because they want to distract you and keep you from talking about Sebastian. So, how about that? How about, was that close? So Chris was at the poker party Friday night, and it was Katie and Sebastian that didn't go in. And then it was Chris that went out to the car, and then Chris and Sebastian got into it, and he put Sebastian in a headlock, and a woman went out there and tried to calm it down, and Sebastian bit Chris on both of his arms. How about that? How about that? Does that sound more like it, Mr. Chris? Does that sound more like it? So I figure what I said all along, it was pre-planned. But I think Friday night is when Chris got those bites on his arms. Now I'm sure many of you's already took it to a dentist and let them look at it. I heard today somebody told me they did, and I believe them. They did too. See, people in here saying they believe that. They believe that's what happened. Yep. So maybe you should have just kept your butt in Memphis. Maybe that's where you really should have kept your butts, where you should have been at, right? Or maybe KK should have just been at home with her son and not chasing after a man, in my opinion. How about that? Now, Sebastian's teacher, or one of his teachers, Miss Haynes, is it Haynes, described Sebastian as always smiling. We saw that. We knew that. Always smiling. He had a good imagination. And he liked to draw. And when he drawed, he had a good imagination with his drawing. But she said he did like small spaces. And he loved to come to her class because it was small. And then you have all of Sebastian's neighbors. All the neighbors, they were involved with the searches, the initial searches, that also they provided they had, some of them had ring door cameras, some of them had surveillance camera, whatever they had, they gave, right? Whatever they had, they gave. They showed their support. They prayed for these people. And they still do. They still won't. Yeah. He's scared. He didn't know what he had the first time. But they're still scared, right? They want Sebastian found, and they're scared he's not going to be found. They're being intimidated. That's their neighborhood. They want everything back to normal. But they want Sebastian back for a safe return. And they did then, and they still do now. They want him found. They want him found. And it's very sad. You've had Chris get out and stop, allegedly stop the neighbors' cars with children in it. I mean, that's got to be scary to them. They just want their life back. And, it's wrong. I don't know, Holly. I'm sure that they did. I'm sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, Kiki. They are. They are. Oh, on Bobby's. Yeah, that's not allegedly. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just so used to saying that. Yeah, that did happen. And that did happen. He stopped her with her kids in the car. She's got that on the dash cam. He didn't care. He stopped her in the middle of the road, you know. Let's see, hold on a minute. When they showed a video of Sebastian's teeth marks and compared them to the bite marks on CP's arms, in my opinion, Sebastian bit the hell out of Chris. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure that pissed him off a whole lot more. And it could have escalated if he went back home. You know, and that could have busted his bubble at the Texas Roadhouse. You know, if she told Sebastian, hey, Chris is going to be at the house, or he's got to come by the house. And what about picking up them groceries we bought today? He's got to carry some things back or do some laundry, or, you know, what about that kind of stuff? I don't know. I know Sebastian loved animals, and there was this event held early on. I believe Seth put that on to celebrate Sebastian's love for animals, and his favorite song was "Eye of the Tiger." His favorite color was green, but his mother and his stepfather have yet to show up to any vigils that they had. Oh, except for Chris. He showed up to one for all about 10 minutes, right when he got in Seth's face to look like the big boy, in my opinion. And then he took off, and him and Katie went to the motorcycle place. And Katie even tried to lie about that, and they had on Sebastian shirts. Somebody popped that out to him and said, well, what about that? She tried to say, oh, that was a long time ago, years ago. How could it be years ago? Was Sebastian missing years ago too? I mean, please. All they've done is lie, lie, lie. Yeah. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, let me back up to the poker party. Come on, Chris. Let's see him a little bit close. So at the poker party, I just told y'all. So Katie and Sebastian pulls up. Allegedly, let's just say. Chris comes out for whatever reason. I don't know if it was to correct him. I don't remember. I don't know. But anyway, they got into it. He puts Sebastian in a headlock. A lady comes out. Sebastian bites both of Chris's arms because, you know, Sebastian's feisty. Them kids with autism, they're also very strong as well. But anyway, so that was Friday night. So then KK allegedly tells, because Sebastian tells on everybody. So Sebastian says he's going to go to school and tell the counselor or whoever what happened, right? So then Katie tells him, if you just don't do that, we're going to have fun this weekend, right? We're going to do some stuff if you agree to all that, whatever, right? Allegedly. Then they go out and have this weekend, and then Sunday is like, you know, Sunday is like the day, okay? But I don't know, whatever she told him to bust his bubble at that table that night, but his whole demeanor changed. Let's see what you say. Thank you, Kiki. Let's see. I read an article that said he was last seen by his mother and stepfather before going to bed. Wonder if it was a misprint. That's interesting. Again, it might also be what Chris gets for sticking his nose into everything, acting like he speaking for everybody, acting like he was there. But I don't know. That is interesting. What article was it? Like, who was it from? It could have been a misprint. Could have been. It was like a year ago. Well, yeah, whatever she told him, he looked very unhappy at the end. He shook his head no. He started biting his fingernails. It just didn't seem very happy to me. Yeah, it's like he just shut down. News Nation. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But we're going to watch this video we're going to watch a couple videos because one of these Eric Craddock says, and this is another one. This is not the one even that we watched on Rich and Ruby's. Please drop their link too, because they have a lot of good videos, and I really like them. I really like Rich and Ruby. Ruby's the dog, but if you go back, I was trying to watch a lot of their videos today, and I will continue, but I really like that channel. I really like Richard and Ruby, and yeah. So, and he's really compassionate. He really cares about not only Sebastian, but other people too. I do too, C. Taylor, and he's really cool. I really like him a lot. So yes, please drop his, and y'all go sub up to him, because he does so much more than y'all even realize. He does a lot of stuff. But let's watch. This is, I don't know which one is what, but there's a lot of these news clips early on. But one of these, Eric says the same thing again. He's not sure he didn't have on shoes. Boy, that gets me every time. All right, let's see.
Search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers is now on day 3. Peyton Kennedy is live at the command post now in Hendersonville with a closer look at what's been going on this morning. Peyton.
Yeah, Nicole, day 3 is underway here. We'll give you a look at the command post activity happening right now this morning. And of course, you can understand emotions are running high as it was pouring down rain here this morning, and the temperature has dropped significantly. We want to show you this map as well that details the pathway hundreds of law enforcement members have taken, scouring the area for a sign of Sebastian. They've used helicopters, drones. This morning I saw crews leave on ATVs. Plus there's been horses from Hendersonville Police, with more from the Metro PD reportedly on the way. Sebastian is 15 years old, has autism. He's 5'5", 120 pounds. He was reported missing Monday morning, last seen in a black sweatsuit. Now we're seeing a number of community organizations reaching out to help law enforcement agencies, including Live Love Nashville, Sumner County Fire Buffs, and Long Hollow Church, who have been feeding folks here at the command post. We actually just saw a couple trucks come up with some food deliveries as well. Now, Long Hollow Church held a prayer vigil last night and have offered their campus, which is just down the street from here, as a second command post if needed.
There's some things that we can't do. We're not trained to be on the front lines of that search, but what we can do well is to love those who are. And so that was kind of one of our first steps forward, was just to come alongside first responders. Many of them, you know, are they're a part of our community, and we care about that. So, one thing we can do is put some warm food in them and just come alongside and be a support.
They've also turned over their surveillance footage to the police department in case anything was caught on those cameras. You are also encouraged to check your home's security cameras, turn that over to police if you see anything. And of course, if you know anything, give the sheriff a call or call the TBI. Live in Hendersonville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
And I wonder why he didn't stop.
All right, our top story this half hour. It's been nearly 1 week since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing over in Sumner County. Our Jaxie Pigeon live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. And Jaxie, we understand reward money is now on the table.
That's right, Blake. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells us that a group of local investors invested a minimum of $3,000 toward any information that would help investigators in finding Sebastian Rogers. I now want to bring in EMA Director with Sumner County, Ken Widener. Ken, as we near this week-long search effort, where are you focusing starting today?
Well, we keep expanding. So we've expanded west and we're expanding north. We just keep expanding the search area and we're bringing different teams in. Yesterday, we had a group from East Tennessee come in. They're mountainous experts and they do caves. And so we've had any cave that we've marked, we've had them in those caves. The City of Gallatin has done all the storm drains in the area with cameras. So we keep expanding and just throwing everything that we can at it to try to get him located.
In terms of the search, you said you've been expanding. About how much ground have you covered?
We're close to 5 miles now. Now, the further south you go towards Hendersonville, we get into city, and we would expect he would be located or seen if he were in the city.
Fun to ski. Thank
and we've
you.
gone into the city, sort of in the fringe, in the
Fun to ski just gifted 10 memberships. If y'all got those, please thank her.
We've been all the way to the lake on the streams that travel through the lake.
Oh my God, thank you.
And you have over 300 searchers here.
Well,
Yesterday
we had 330 on the ground, and then we'll run the numbers later today on how many come in today, we run that as the day goes on.
And 43 years in law enforcement, you told me. What does this experience look like in terms of people coming together to help out in this one mission to find Sebastian Rogers?
Well, one thing about Tennessee and the Southeast is we're always going to have people that want help, and we get calls from across the state for people that want to come in and help us. And the thing that we've got to do is be able to manage that. So we track everybody that's on the ground. The first 2 days we did 2,000 miles of people walking. And we haven't run those numbers for the entire duration of this operation, but it's great, and to be able to call in specialized groups that do the things that we can't do is really good.
And what keeps you going as near like this? You're keeping going after this week just to find Sebastian Rogers. How do you keep going, you and your team?
Oh yeah, just the drive to find him. We'll go talk to the parents in a little while, and every morning we sit and talk to them. We want to do everything for them and for Sebastian to get him located.
Thank you so much, Ken. If you do have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Also check those cameras, like they said, Sunday to Monday, Sunday afternoon to Monday morning. For now, live in Hendersonville, Jaxie Pigeon, back to you.
Thanks to Jaxie for that live interview there. Really good information. You can hear they're expanding their search efforts this morning.
Okay. So let me see here. Hold on.
Continues this morning for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers in Sumner County. Peyton Kennedy has been at the command post in Hendersonville all morning long. She's live there now with an update on day 5 of the search.
Well, I think that's the same one I just played.
The past 5 days have been a non-stop effort, from talks with the FBI to the TBI and local law enforcement agencies on the ground. This really has been a massive response. And while we unfortunately have not received any official update today in terms of leads or evidence, we've been keeping track of activity here at the command post and beyond. Most recently, around 10 a.m., the Emergency Management Agency, as well as police, brought a number of trucks, an ATV, a raft outside of Sebastian's home, as well as a dog that was sniffing around the property. It was unclear why they returned to the home with those specific supplies. Earlier in the morning, we were able to join members of the Greenbrier Fire Department as they went out to search on foot. They were working through a wooded area behind the command post, about 3 miles south. They also turned on their tracking devices so they can maintain a map of what has and what hasn't been investigated. Otherwise, we do know that the first responders here are going to be receiving a warm meal tonight, courtesy of donations from Live Love Nashville. Community is encouraged to continue checking their property in pairs, continue checking their surveillance footage, send any of that, if it has information, over to the sheriff's office or to the TBI. Live in Hendersonville, Peyton Kennedy, News 2.
One longtime business owner whose restaurant is just a half mile from where Sebastian lives says he has never seen this large of a response in his several decades in that community.
Well, they're all pulling in the same direction. You know, that's a big thing. Is in our country and the community and local government is all split and on anything you discuss, except this. And they're not split on this. They're all putting forth effort to find him and hope everything turns out for the best.
As the search for Sebastian continues, we will provide updates as we get more information. You can also find additional updates and photos online at WKRN.com.
Let's see. Oh, I think this one's it. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Okay, let's see. All right. Now listen to what he says.
Today is what I'll describe as a redundant search. We have mapped out more search grids, sent responders out to specific grids. They search that area, they clear it, they come back, they get another search grid, and they go back out. Yesterday, we, for lack of a better term, we threw everything that we possibly could throw at this. I'll show you a picture of the map in just a moment. We absolutely obliterated covering the area where Sebastian could have walked off to. Obviously, there's a litany of things that could have happened to Sebastian, and none of them we can presume are credible or validate yet. So we're doing everything we can. Every lead that we get, we're following. If someone calls and says, hey, I think we saw him by the pond, we're going to the pond and checking. Nothing's off the table at this point.
Okay, and I guess the priority has it moved from a 2-perimeter search, right, 2-mile perimeter, to now how wider?
We're at about 5 mile width right now. We keep, as we clear the areas, we keep expanding. We do get calls and tips from time to time, and we take some of the teams we have here, respond to that area, and either corroborate or invalidate the tip.
Okay, great. And we know that you guys earlier were saying that not discouraging the public from coming out. Is that still the same message now?
So right now we have enough first responders on the ground here that we can communicate with, that have the same training. They have the apps that we use to track, and there's a litany of reasons that it's important right now. There may come a time when we call on the public to come out and help us search, but right now we have plenty of first responders on scene. The best thing the public can do to help us is keep sharing it on social media. If you see something, say something, call the Sumner County Emergency Communication Center at 615-451-3838 and check your home surveillance video. Just check. If you see something, call us. We'll come out and look.
He's killing me with that gum.
That's going to be what breaks the case is somebody's home surveillance video seeing something.
Okay. And at what point are people going to be coming out and invited to come out in the searches? I know a lot of people.
Hey, Washington State.
Sumner County is the greatest place on earth. I truly believe that. We have the absolute greatest citizens here, but we also have the best law enforcement relationships in the county. we've got people from across the state here, the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Hendersonville's here, Gallatin sent people. We have plenty of first responders. So my urge to the public right now would be to check your home videos and stay rested, because when the call comes, we'll put it out on social media, and that's when we'll need you to come.
Okay. And then, did you want to speak as well? Okay, I'm going to get you mic'd up.
Go ahead. In the meantime, is when you approach this search, is it different looking for a child than an adult?
It's definitely different looking for a child with autism. Yesterday, we consulted with someone in the first responder world who does emergency management, who also has children who are autistic, and she kind of laid it out for us, some things that I didn't understand or comprehend at first. She gave us a lot of tips and tricks. So we've had several calls from people with autistic relatives that have told us, hey, have you thought about this? And listen, there's nothing off the table. I don't care how crazy it sounds. If it's going to help me find Sebastian, get him home safe to his family, I'm going to do it.
And what are some of those considerations that go into looking for a child with autism?
Some of the things that he likes, what he's familiar with. We know that Sebastian likes cats. We were told that his favorite song was Eye of the Tiger. We tried playing that to just kind of calm him and let him know we're here to help him. I'm sure that he could see what's going on here and be intimidated. But if he sees this newscast, I want him to know, Sebastian, come out. We're here to help you. We just want to get you home safe.
And at this point, have you guys ruled out any indication of foul play?
I won't say that we've ruled out any indication of foul play, but I will say that the family has been nothing but cooperative with us. Nothing but cooperative. There's no indication of foul play at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment. Did y'all hear this?
Coming in and offering up any information. Have you guys had any leads or any information that you can kind of share with that?
We've had several tips. One of the tips was that he was sighted off of Newman's Trail off Long Hollow Pike. We actually, when we got that tip, we sent a team out. We made contact with who they thought was Sebastian, and it was not. Again, that's a great tip. It could have been. So if somebody sees something, call us. Let us know.
And do you guys know, I know you guys were checking shoes last night to see if he was barefoot. Is that still the case? Is he barefoot? Because I know on Facebook somebody posted a picture of these could be his shoes, or is that so he is presumed to be barefoot at this point?
What I can say is that his mom says all of his shoes are accounted for at the house. I'm not going to say that he's barefoot.
See?
All right. And how's the family doing? Just to ask, I'm checking with them.
Oh, I cannot imagine the struggle that the family is going through right now. I'm a dad. Director Widener's a dad. I don't know how they're handling it. I couldn't survive if something happened to my kids.
Managing all of this, what's been going through your guys' mind? Just kind of juggling all of these people and having people come in from outside agencies as well. I mean, what's been going through your mind?
Well, I think Director Widener said it best. Every time we debrief and talk about what we've done, we're asking, what ideas do you guys have? Because, I think I'm a pretty good law enforcement officer, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I know that. So if someone's got an idea, and we've had some pretty good ideas come up, and we're gonna try everything we can. So keeping an open mind and doing anything we can to find Sebastian.
And then I also am told that he might be on medications as well due to his being on the autistic spectrum. What is that kind of looking like, and is that kind of upping the danger of the situation?
It definitely increases the volatility of the situation. The medicine was there, obviously to treat his autism. So how he responds to that once the medicine is out of his system is really not my expertise, but I do know that it's going to have a negative effect on him. So it definitely is increasing.
And then as people approach him, if they see him, are they advised to move slowly or call you guys first? Or I guess what's the recommendation?
I would definitely say call us first. If you're close enough to talk to Sebastian, talk in a calm, slow voice. Let him know that you're not there to hurt him. You're there to help him. And hopefully you can build a rapport with him until we can get there and bring him back to his family.
And about how many agencies are helping with this search?
Oh, we've got at least 10 agencies here. Yesterday, and Director Widener.
And Ken Widener, KENWEIDNER, Director of Sumner County Emergency Management Agency. So yesterday we had multiple agencies. We had 220 searchers on the ground, and we bring them in and they go through operations and they get assigned to search areas. So we're using a search program to track them, and they lay tracks from their cell devices, and we know where they're at, and they complete those search areas. They come back and they get reassigned, or we reassign them when they're in the field. So today we'll get a count on that, but I'd say we're over 150 searchers on the ground today. and multiple agencies and THP helicopter, and I'm not sure what the chief went over, Metro's helicopter, TBI fixed wing, over 10 drones. We've got 12 K9 teams here, 8 mounted units yesterday, horses yesterday, and 10 here today. So we're covering as much ground as we can, and we keep expanding that search area. And we have pounded the area, the neighborhood that he went missing from, and the neighborhood adjacent, and we keep expanding that out.
And with the anticipation of the temperature dropping tomorrow and a chance for storms, is that going to change the search, or is it going to have any impact on his ability to survive?
We're concerned about the weather because we don't know exactly what he's dressed in, and we could have some flurries tomorrow. And the storms, so the wet, and you lose body temperature 30 times faster when you're wet than when you're dry in the air or in water. And so we're concerned about that, and the chance that we could have flurries tomorrow and those dropping temperatures.
Y'all heard that, didn't you?
We're continuing to work with drones and FLIR, and we've actually utilized tactical teams, SWAT teams, the county ERT, and night vision that our operators have, and they've been in the field for many hours at nighttime.
Yeah, that was my next question. How do you guys operate these searches at night? I know last night it got dark pretty soon, and it's going to get dark pretty soon here today again. How does those searches go in, and how do you keep those effective?
Yeah, flashlights, FLIR, and night vision. Yeah.
I'll say we do change our tactics based on the weather. So last night we did that. Not ready yet to describe exactly how we did that because we may have to apply that again tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then at this point, what you were kind of talking about it earlier with the body kind of going to shock with those low temperatures. And you guys have originally said 2 mile perimeter just because that's as far as usually someone will walk. But are you expecting at this point he'll be tired, exhausted, sleeping? I mean, I guess what are you kind of estimating there?
Teenagers are resilient. We're really hoping he has enough clothes on to stay warm, and we think that when he gets fatigued, he should rest. And he doesn't apparently doesn't sleep a lot at night, and he's more active at night, and probably sleeps a little more in the day. So we hope he's laying down and resting, and we just want to. We don't want him to outwalk the search, and the ground that he can cover on foot. We're working with that, and we're putting that into consideration when we create the areas that we search.
And who's helping out with the aerial searches as well?
There's multiple agencies. TBI's helped, Metro Nashville's helped, Tennessee Highway Patrol's helped, our drone team, North Star has helped. Wilson County is going to come help with some aerial coverage. The Sumner County Emergency Management drone team has been phenomenal. There's really no limit. If there's a resource out there that can help us, we've called and we've asked for it.
Pretty much every agency in the county, and then counties from across the state, quite honestly. And with the plea, and I think I heard Chief talking about that earlier. We have a lot of people wanting to volunteer, and we are really looking to put trained personnel on the ground that are familiar with search and operations and have the ability to perform limited rescue operations. And we've got teams on standby if we have a rescue situation. And so there's a lot that goes into that, and we can track these personnel a lot easier. So.
Are divers still on scene as well?
They're on standby.
They're on standby.
Is there anything else that you guys want to add that I've noticed?
Continue to share the social media page. If you see something, say something. Check your home surveillance video. Those are really the huge things that the public can do to help us right now find Sebastian.
So we had a child a lady walk up today with a child who's autistic. They're from Watertown, and the little boy wanted to tell us where he thought Sebastian could be, and he told me very forthright where he thought he would go if he were lost. That he would go towards creeks, and he would go behind buildings, and the different things that he would do. And he told his mom this morning that he wanted to come up here and tell us where he thought Sebastian might be.
Oh, see, everybody wanted to help, but isn't that something? Man, oh man. All right, Kiki sent me this, and it was from, oh shoot, I just dropped my, hold on a minute. Okay, and Kiki sent me this, and it said, Sebastian Rogers last seen alive, February 25th, 2024. Sebastian Rogers is last seen by his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, before going to bed. Katie Proudfoot describes her son as very smart and not a teen prone to mischief. That come out of News Nation. Hold on, she just sent me something else. Let's see. I think she did. Let's see. Did you I thought I just seen it where you sent me something else. For some reason it didn't come here. Let me see if it went into spam. I don't see it now. But that come from News Nation. I'm going to post that on my other page. Kiki, you said you sent me something again? CCC, thank you so much. Let's see. They would love to talk to me, but they're not telling, they won't show me their face. So they're playing games and distracting. Unfortunately, unless they show me their face, they're not allowed to come up, and I'm not taking distractions. Thank you for the $10. But Christy, I didn't get that. You may want to resend that to me, the second one, because I thought I seen it up here. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so let's see. Where did the other one go? Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so they said, Katie said her and her family have been questioned by law enforcement. Katie said she took and passed a polygraph test. Not Ellie, Katie. Okay, so I am sure that, she has been questioned. I'm sure that her husband and his family and them have been questioned. I'm sure everybody has been questioned that's supposed to. Ellie has not just come out and said that, but I'm sure everybody's been questioned. We do know that Katie has been, because they called Katie and Seth up there to speak with them. Hey, Matthew. Hello, honey. Oh, good night. You just come tell me good night? Okay. But Sebastian, Katie passed a polygraph, but she said that, not Ellie. So that's come out. There is no proof of Chris taking a polygraph test. He recently stated and said he took one and passed one, but Nancy Grace asked him if he would take one for her, and because at the time he told her he hadn't took one, and then he said he would, because when she asked him, he said yes, he would anytime. You name the time, you name the place, right? So he said he would take it. But then when it come down to the time and the place, then guess what? He said, nah, I'm not going to do it because TBI told me not to. TBI said, no, I shouldn't do that. Well, I've heard different things about that, but usually what I found out, they don't advise against not taking a polygraph test. Kiki, girl, you didn't have to do that. Let's see. It just says something different than KB said before, and before bed, I hadn't heard. But I didn't get it for some reason. You may want to resend it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Here's a picture. Let's see. It's saying a picture. I don't know. No, that's the one you sent me. That's the first one. But I'm not getting the other one you sent me for some reason. Yeah, that's crazy. But thank you. Thank you for that. Absolutely. But sometimes, to be fair, it may be true that they do that sometimes, but this is what I found out. I found out that they may advise against it, although they can't make you not take it or whatever, but they may ask you not to. And the only reasons that they may ask you not to is for strategic reasons related to the ongoing investigation. Read between the lines. The ongoing investigation. They might have other investigative things they are actually pursuing. And they don't want something potentially misleading or some misleading results from the polygraph investigation interfering with that. And that may be why. I thought that was interesting. They might be trying to prioritize other forms of evidence they think is more important and reliable. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm telling you. Boom, da da da, chaka laka, boom, boom. I'm just saying. Some people's got some brains around here, honey. Brandy and Indy. I'm just saying. But again, it depends on the individual. And I just feel from day one, A1, they knew, and they were suspicious. You hear this, you hear Eric Craddock, as much as we don't really care for him. But ever since I heard that from Richard and Ruby's channel, and then I heard Eric again tonight, I am like, my gosh, oh Lord, things just turn out the way they're supposed to sometimes. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain in a good way. I don't know. I just think they know from day one. So all neighbors and businesses turned over their security cameras also. We seen on WKRN Channel 2 News on ABC, they had bloodhounds. And again, Eric said there was nothing off the table. And he said, keep sharing on social media. Keep sharing on social media. In my opinion, I don't think from day one Ellie believed Chris or Katie Proudfoot or their story. And that's just my thought, and I'm sticking to it. Because that's what I think. Now, I want to watch something else here. let's see. Let me make sure I got, because this, I have never done. So let's see. Hold on a minute. I know I put the credit up. Hold on a minute. If I didn't, I think I'm going to have to redo it. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, why was it like that? Okay. Now, I need to put a little bit of music on here because I don't know how this, I don't know how she is. So hold on a minute. All right, full credit goes to the reporter room. Hold on just a minute.
To say to whoever has my children that they please. We just hoping that he
Functioning autistic.
happy and alive.
Wherever you are, just know that we are not going to stop.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist. Come on in, come on in. Everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion. So I'm an investigative journalist, and my job is to investigate crimes, crime scenes, and potential suspects, and share with you how to do the same thing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and join the Reporter Room family. Today, we're going to be talking about the Sebastian Rogers case because this story does not add up. In my opinion, Katie Proudfoot has a change of story from her first interview that she did with Chronicles of Olivia to her second interview. So in Katie's original interview with Chronicles of Olivia, she talks about looking through the house. And she doesn't go outside to search for him, but she's panicked after she searches the house for 1 minute flat. I think this is very unusual. I don't understand why you would be panicked about a 15-year-old if you don't see them for 1 minute. She wasn't panicked when she was on the phone call with Chris Proudfoot for 3 hours. She even heard a thud, according to Katie, and that didn't send her into a panic. So what sent her into a panic after just 1 minute flat? These are her words on Chronicles of Olivia's great interview that she did versus the night before when she heard a thud. And then we found out in the second interview that she did that she actually was on the phone with Chris Proudfoot while she's searching the house for Sebastian, and he was telling her where to search, which again, I find just absolutely interesting that we have this change of story.
Immediately just started, did you check here? Did you check there? Did you look here? And I ran through the house, and at that point I was hysterical, for lack of a word. And
why is she hysterical at this point? She hasn't looked outside, and her story has now changed. Her story has now changed. We know she called Chris Proudfoot right after she goes in the room. Why is she hysterical already? You wouldn't be hysterical at that point. I wouldn't be. It's a 15-year-old. I unless you knew what that thud was. If we can even believe that. Let's continue on together, shall we? Let's continue on.
We three-wayed the police, and I'm within minutes they were here. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. I know it was fast. And we haven't found him.
When I got the phone call that he was missing, like she said, we asked questions of where's he at, check this, check that, and then we called the sheriff's department. I called the sheriff's department. I stayed on the
And we go back to Peter Hyatt. Why is Chris calling the sheriff's department? Why isn't Katie calling the sheriff's department? And let's also consider what Seth got. He got this bizarre message from Chris Proudfoot telling him, don't be upset. Don't be upset. But Sebastian's missing.
Oh my God, I was muted the whole time. I'm sorry. No, I said I agree with her. I said it's just like, the dogs are barking. He had to shh them. But it's the same thing. They said that, their dogs didn't bark and all that kind of crap. Look, it's just like my dogs. Y'all hear my dogs bark when people that live here come in. It's ridiculous. The dogs are barking a lot during this video. They did with Olivia too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they would have barked. I don't care how big or small they are, they would have barked. This is just crazy. Let's see. Go back to it.
Missing. That's just a really weird way. Don't be upset. Of course he's going to be upset.
phone pretty much most of the time. And then
Right.
while I was at work, I asked for a relief, got a relief, got in my truck from Memphis and made my way to Nashville.
Wanted to make sure everybody knew. He was in Memphis and made his way to Nashville. Just to get that alibi in there. I love this interviewer, by the way. I just think she's doing such a great job. This is Caitlin Miller from Fox 17 out of Nashville. She does such a good job. It's such a shame that she was unable to get them on camera. And I think, again, it's so suspicious that they're not going on camera. They're refusing to go on camera. And then Katie's talking about how you would feel, not how she felt, how you would feel. And then the story changed from the Chronicles of Olivia interview to this interview. Suddenly, now Chris Proudfoot's on the phone with her, telling her where to search. I believe that's very possible. But why is she going into a panic as soon as she hears that Sebastian is missing? Or as soon as she doesn't see him in his room? Sorry, I misphrased that. Why is she going into a panic as soon as he's 15? Maybe he's in the bathroom. And then all of the red flags of the fact that we have a step parent in the house that has CPS issues prior to this with Faith, but also we found out from Seth multiple CPS issues in relation to the Proudfoot's home with Sebastian, where he was living and should have been safe and was residing. We have the red flags of both Chris and Katie Proudfoot moving out and just leaving the house completely. Who does something like that? Who leaves their house? What mother leaves their house with a missing child, unless you think or believe he cannot be found, to go camping? Did Katie make a choice between Chris Proudfoot and Sebastian? In my opinion, she made a choice repeatedly. She repeatedly chose Chris over Sebastian. She chose Chris over Sebastian when she didn't stand up for him after CPS came to the house. She chose Chris over Sebastian when she allowed Chris to spray him with that power sprayer and call him the R word and not advocate for Sebastian or tell Chris to stop it. And we have neighbors who provided this to law enforcement, video footage. That's what we're hearing, allegedly. But not one word that Katie tried to intervene or help Sebastian. I think it's very odd, too, that Katie says she put Sebastian to bed at 9 o'clock, right? She put him to bed at 9 p.m. Who is putting a 15-year-old to bed at 9 p.m.? You might say go to bed, but you wouldn't be tucking them in at 15, would you? But yet she doesn't know what he had on during the interview where, you know, Chris is rubbing her hand. She's rubbing Chris Proudfoot's hands over and over, but she cannot say what Sebastian was wearing. I think that's odd. If you put him to bed, wouldn't you know what he had on? I don't think she put him to bed. And I think the fact that she needs to tell us that he told her that he loved her is interesting. To me, it's another red flag. It's a way to try to say, this is what a good mother I am. And the other thing I found interesting is what wasn't said, which is Katie never tells us that she said it back. And then when she's asked in the interview about how she was feeling, she changes her language and she said how you would feel, talking about the interviewer, not herself and her own feelings, which makes me very, very worried for what happened to Sebastian. So Katie was home alone, according to her, with Sebastian. She's on the phone with Chris Proudfoot for over 3 hours. Why not, if she heard a thud and she thought it was weird and she has a special needs child, one that she has to put to bed, she has to tuck him in, why wouldn't she have gone to check out what the thud was? At least turned an outdoor light on. Because according to Katie, the house was dark, except for the garden lights. And then Chris hastily chimes in, oh yes, but the garage lights always stay on. I know people have said, please don't talk about Chris and Katie, but I think we do need to understand the dynamics of what was going on in the Proudfoot home to understand if Sebastian really did run away or if something more nefarious happened. If it was an abduction by a stranger, then, you know, did he have access to the internet? Why hasn't law enforcement returned his laptop? If Sebastian ran away that night, what was said on the phone with Chris and Katie Proudfoot that made Sebastian feel like he had to run away? That he ran out of the house with no shoes on.
What? I know, right?
Without his cell phone. Without his medicine. Without a coat in February. Was there scapegoating going on in this household? It certainly sounds like it from the neighbor's description of Chris calling him the R word. It sounds like it from Chris's own description and using a belt because he lied. Chris has lied. He lied about the lie detector, telling Nancy Grace he was going to take it and not showing up. So was there an advantage to anyone to have Sebastian simply disappear? Was there life insurance? Was there an upcoming custody case? Oh, I don't know the answer to the life insurance. I do know that there was an upcoming custody case where Chris Proudfoot wanted to get Faith away from Nina Gomez. Was that a motive? They were willing to give up Sebastian for Faith. We've seen Chris Proudfoot's behaviors firsthand. We've all witnessed the recorded phone call that was released between the PIs, Justice Warriors, Heather and Tracy. I think he was talking to Heather and Chris Proudfoot when he didn't know he was being recorded. So we need to talk about motive, means, and opportunity here. Because are we looking at a crime or are we just looking at a runaway? Motive. Was there an advantage to one person or possibly two people to get rid of Sebastian? Well, we know Chris Proudfoot did not want Sebastian around Faith. Chris Proudfoot wanted Faith in the house, not Sebastian. And now Seth was willing to take Sebastian, but with CPS being called out more than once to the Proudfoot home, was Chris concerned about what Sebastian might tell Seth, or what Sebastian might tell CPS when he wasn't standing in the room with him? Was there a motive to not have Sebastian around? Another potential motive could be Katie Proudfoot being willing to make a choice between Sebastian and her marriage to Chris Proudfoot. We know that Chris was anxious to give Sebastian up to Seth, and Katie was on board with this. So it seems like she was perfectly willing to give up Sebastian for Chris. And so I think we have to consider a couple of things, that there would have been a motive. There would have been a motive if CPS was being called out multiple times. And Chris Proudfoot has lied about this to us. He lied to us about the number of times CPS were at the house. So I think it's definitely worth considering motive. Let's talk about means. This would be the ability or tools to do the crime. Seth said that he felt like Katie gave Sebastian too much sleeping medication. Seth knows Katie. Is Seth picking up on something that we're not aware of? Certainly there was the means to do it, especially if we take away Katie's timeline of 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Opportunity. Yes, again, we have to look at the timeline, because I'm not convinced that Katie told us the truth about the timeline. I'm not convinced that we've heard the full truth about the timeline of what happened. Maybe we have, and I could be wrong. But if we consider that the last proof of life for Sebastian was at the Texas Roadhouse, and that Katie did not call, well, Katie never called the sheriff's office. It was Chris that called, not 911, because Katie was so panicked. She had to call Chris, and Chris had to tell her where to search, according to Katie's second rendition of what happened. But that gives us a window of over 12 hours, which is plenty of time for Chris Proudfoot to have traveled from Memphis to Nashville and back, or plenty of time for Katie to do whatever Chris told her to do. Or maybe it really did go down like Katie said, and she was on the phone with Chris Proudfoot. She heard a thud. Was it the door slamming? It seems to me that Katie, being home alone in the house and didn't even get up to turn a light on when she heard the thud or check on Sebastian, who she had to put to bed. She put to bed, according to her. She had to put him to bed that night after she gave him the best day ever.
See, why was she put him to bed?
Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. And please consider joining the Reporter Room family by subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
So y'all go sub up and go over there to Jessica's, or Reporter Room is what her channel name is. And I dropped that link. But yeah, it's so interesting. Hold on, let me turn this music off. Okay, and go into the banners. Okay, I think I got that. Let's see. Nope, I didn't get it off. Hold on. But yeah, it's just so interesting. I don't know. You know what? I got that up there. There we go. So yeah, I just, it's weird. It's weird. Let's see, what else have I got here? But yeah, the red flags, some of the red flags were from the very beginning, you know, a delay in reporting Sebastian, like, because they had to wait on, or it was planned out like that. I don't know which one, but regardless, by the time they text Seth, or I shouldn't even say they, Chris, you know, Seth was still at work, just fixing to get off. But the red flags was dealing with Seth and then the cops, you know. I feel like calling Nina in New Mexico right away when that could have been put on halt just a little bit. That he wasn't really having his priorities straight like he was supposed to, right? So there was red flags there. No scent, lack of concern of confirmed sightings anywhere of Sebastian, nothing on video camera, ring cam doorbells, nothing. You know, even though they tried to push the narrative just recently and their PI did the same thing, knowing good and damn well cops come out and said, no, that didn't have anything to do with this case, and it was not Sebastian. Let's see. I don't know. The glasses that was found that looked like his, that was so close to his step grandma, but they happened to not be his. And there's just so many red flags to me. Custody battles going on, people trying to get you to look here when you really shouldn't be looking here. Distractions. It's just crazy. Too many red flags. Way too many. And I don't understand why. Don't have a clue why. Here's another one that Christy sent me. It says, Sebastian is autistic and his mother says she heard a thud from his room around 10 p.m. About an hour after she went to bed, she added that she called out for the teen to keep it down, who responded and she told him to go to bed, to go to sleep. Yeah, all this is just too weird, in my opinion. I'll post all that, too, on my community post. North and Northwest, yeah. And the custody, yeah, the custody thing going on with his daughter. Right. They definitely had motive. They had the means. Was the opportunity there? I mean, and I would like to know, in that basement, or not basement, the garage. I just want to know, you know, because I don't think their house was searched like that. And I guess I'll be the damn one to ask, did they have a freezer out there? You know, the kind you're supposed to put full of meat and stuff like that. I wonder if things like that was searched. Good night, CB. But yeah, you know, Sebastian is the most important. He's the victim in all of this. And just, you know, we got to keep sharing. We got to keep his name and face out there. I'm very suspicious about the neighbor behind them and the shed looking thing, in my opinion. I mean, a whole lot of things in this case is suspicious. Yeah. So, you know, maybe gave him something of whatever Katie was taking. I heard her pills. I heard she was taking. I heard she was hooked on Lortabs. Well, I probably wasn't supposed to say that, but I did. So I don't know. I don't know, man. This whole thing is just off the charts. Thank you, Tammy T. I really appreciate y'all being here and spending time with me, and I'm glad I got to come back on. Y'all really are, you know, it's a good group we got here, and I appreciate everybody coming on here and supporting me and my channel, and supporting Sebastian and all the missing people. But we got to keep focused on Sebastian and get his name out there and keep it out there and do whatever is important and whatever's necessary. That's what we got to do because he deserves it. And we seem to be, you know, not the ones joking around and trying to jump on people's panels and, you know, trolling and doing all this crazy stuff. Especially when people's trying to have a serious conversation. You know, today or yesterday, a few hours ago was Easter, put it that way. Sebastian should have been home with his family eating wherever it was they ate today. If it was Cracker Barrel, if it was the damn barbecue place open, whatever. I don't know. Very slim pickings today. I don't see Susie Homemaker being a Susie Homemaker and cooking and all that kind of stuff. I mean, why do that? Why do that when you have money you can go blow, you know? But Sebastian would have loved today. He would have probably loved to be in church. I doubt if he comes back, though, he would ever want to go to the damn church that Kathy and them proclaimed to be a part of. I would never want my child or anybody else to be a part of that type of church who, if, you know, a family member, I don't care how old they was, if they was 1 day old, 7 months old, 7 years old, 50 years old, or 82 years old, missing, I don't think I would approve of going to a church or my family going to a church that has a preacher that has a true crime channel and could help get the word out and a platform out and could not even dare speak Sebastian's name or help try to find him or promote. Especially, it don't matter if him or his mom or dad are members there. You know, the step grandmother goes there, and the point of the matter is, when something like that, that's what the church is there for. It's for unity. So, Tyler, fella, you know, I just don't think that's very Christian or preacher-like of you, in my opinion. Yeah, he's a youth preacher too. He's one of those fake full of shit preachers. How about that? That rakes in the money. That's got the coffee shop in there big as Starbucks or bigger. I mean, it makes no damn sense. But anyway, y'all don't get me started right before bed. I'll have nightmares. And the last thing I want is a nightmare. But anyway, it was great being here with y'all, and just keep Sebastian's name and face out. And if you know anything, say something. We need to get this case over with. We need to get Sebastian back where he belongs. And you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. God, I got interdiction again so bad. Or 615-451-3838, and you can still call 1-833-TELL-DOG. But just do me a favor, and if you know any information, please don't keep it to yourself. Please call. And if you think you see him, maybe see him or anything like that, call 911. But I suggest you don't lose track of him. You know, you don't have to go up to him or anything, but don't lose track of him. But the point is, I think the only one that's going to be able to solve this problem is Katie May. And the few that know, the 3 others or possibly 4 in that family. So anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. And I love you all, even the little shithead trolls. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.